back, and what an inspirational discussion with those two young gentlemen, definitely going out there wanting to make a difference, having some good insight and, should we say, outlook to what they'd like to do going forward in the future. And I think it's important and imperative for young people to get involved with upliftment and empowerment, because that's what it's all about. It's about pulling together, creating those support structures, and then helping each other move into better spaces and places. And I say that all the time because I think it's so imperative. Um, we're coming to our next guest, and it's very interesting as a topic, because I'll tell you why. The entire month of Ramadan we spend in looking at our health and how we can better it by the types of things that we literally eat, and changing it by trying to eat as much sunnah foods as we can, which we know is very beneficial for our bodies and our systems and our well-being. And then come to Eid Day, what happens is we literally hit a backward turn, because we need to catch up on everything that we've so-called missed out on. And I think that's not really good for us, because, I think it gives our body the shock, uh, because all the time we've been eating and being mindful of what we've been taking down. And then suddenly we're on another level. So to give us some ideas and insight on how to better our day and eat, should we say, moderately, but also nutritiously, we have Sister Faaizah Laher on the line once again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for joining us on the show once again.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for having me.
It's always a pleasure chatting to you. We always go back with some valuable information that could help us move our, should we say, well-being from a health point of view into a better place and a better space. And that's what the show is about, is educating people and trying to make them understand how it is that they could deal with these relative issues. And as I was saying when we just started off before I introduced you, is the entire month we've been so mindful, eating all the sunnah foods like the libnez and the pomegranate, and going into eating all the different types of things like turbina and stuff like that. And then come Eid Day, I think we kind of make up for the entire month of what we've missed out on during the month of Ramadan, which I think really defeats the purpose. So direct us in some way.
Okay, so we're getting together with family and friends on Eid Day, and we're celebrating, a month of spiritual upliftment, and bettering our health and our bodies, and looking at, nourishing ourselves from the inside out. So we would like to look at 3 qualities that we can exercise on Eid, that we can help to make our Eid a little bit healthier. So we're not going to say we're not going to indulge or have something sweet or something we really love, or something that we traditionally eat and eat. But what we want to do is we want to exercise portion control. We want to be mindful of what we eat, and we want to keep the goodness of the food that we've attained throughout the month. We want to keep that with us and know that, food is an amana, our bodies are an amana, and we want to make sure that we bridge the gap between the two and make sure we keep those healthy habits going even after Ramadan.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's what it's about. So give us some ideas of what we could do, as opposed to, because the first thing that comes out and that bears in mind here is the biryani. That's the first thing that comes out on the table. What is it that we could possibly maybe substitute to have a healthier, nutritious, joyous day where we're eating beneficial food, things that are benefiting our body like it did the entire month?
Yes. So firstly, we must remember that we have been fasting for a full 30 days, almost 30 days. So our tummies are really small, and if we're going to overeat, we're going to feel sick or nauseous or, just unwell. So you want to eat small bits of food or small little bits of different types of food on the table, and try not to overdo it.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're looking at your biryani, what I usually suggest to my patients is choose either rice or potato, but not both, because they're both starches.
Right.
And if you really enjoy your rice, then go with the rice, go with a piece of chicken or lamb or whatever you eat in your biryani, and then try to have a small salad or something green on the side to, keep it light and healthy, and actually help you to make you feel full. And then if you're doing a soji, or if you're doing a halwa or something like that, then, make that a smaller portion, but you can still enjoy a little bit of dessert after your biryani. because everybody's going to be eating, and we don't want to be, feeling sick so quickly.
Mm, mm. And I think it's important to realize also what sort of a menu to make. Where I think vegetables are very important, and it gives us the nutrition we're looking for. And we've done that during the month of Ramadan. So why not maybe start off with something like that? Would you suggest that maybe you start off with your vegetables so that you don't reach out to all the other things that are not equally as healthy?
Oh, definitely. So we could start off with a vegetable-based soup if it's a cold day. We could start off with a small salad or a small light coleslaw, maybe a stir-fried vegetables. So although we want to keep the tradition of Eid and what we usually would have eaten, we can also make new traditions and help kids to understand that, you know, our traditions are not bad, but we can change them and make them better.
Yeah, and I think there's a healthier way to doing it. Like even if we're making chicken, we're not going to, of course, make it with oil. We'll probably substitute it with like maybe olive oil or ghee or butter, something that's a little bit more on the healthier side. So I think there's ways to deal with it and substitute in some way.
Definitely. So if you're marinating a chicken, instead of using oil, you can use something like a low-fat yogurt or even your Lebanon if you have any left over in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
You can always use yogurt to marinate with that because it tenderizes the meat and also gives it that moisture that it needs without adding too much of calories from fat.
Yes, that makes a lot more sense.
Mm.
So, what else would you suggest that we look at as far as our habits are concerned on that particular day, and then also, of course, going forward?
Okay, so firstly, take a moment when you get to the table or when you get to lunch or breakfast and assess what's available
Mm-hmm.
and then decide what would you enjoy the most. It must be something that you really love eating or something that you haven't eaten for a while. So distinguish between what you really want and what's in front of you and then make a choice.
Right.
Starting off with small portions is really important. So dish out a little bit, and then if you're still hungry, you can always take a little bit more, as opposed to taking a large portion and then you force yourself to eat it all.
Mm.
So it takes our brains 20 to 30 minutes to decide, actually to register that our stomachs are full. So we need to eat slowly and give ourselves time to eat between meals and treats so that we can make that gut and brain connection.
I agree with you. And
So,
then when we start overeating, then all the other things start playing up. Like
yes,
we start getting heartburn, indigestion. You're feeling bloated, and then you really start feeling ill because the thing is your body's not used to that because the entire month you've eaten in proportion in
mhm,
portions as well. And you've created that sort of a balance. And now suddenly there's this total imbalance that you're creating where your body's hitting the shock level now.
definitely. So take it easy. Even take it slowly. If you want to serve a starter and wait a little while, and then serve your main, and then wait until dessert or until tea. So eat. So make sure drag the meal out. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And don't rush it.
Mm.
You have the full day. Nobody's going back to work. Your family is at your disposal on this day. So really try and make the meal stretch and eat slowly.
No,
And then you really also
I'm gonna
want
tap
to
into
focus.
I'm gonna tap into something that's not gonna sound very nice. Everyone's gonna be upset with me now. Um, what about all those fizzy drinks? Because the entire month, all these guys go around and they're like, "Oh no, we'll drink juices and we'll do this and
Mm.
we'll do that." And then on Eid day, the first thing you find on the table are those fizzy drinks.
Okay, so fizzy drinks can definitely make you feel fuller faster than you want because the
Mm-hmm.
gas from the cool drink takes space in the stomach.
Right.
So look, I like something fizzy like a homemade iced tea, but I'm very conscious that I need to have small amounts. So small amounts, a quarter glass, a half a glass at a time between meals. Remember to have a glass of water next to you as well to hydrate properly. And don't overdo it on the caffeine on each day as well because we've been without caffeine for almost 30 days, and then to have too many coffees, we will also feel very ill.
Mm. And it's also about being active. And I liked your idea when you spoke to me earlier to say that once you've eaten and in order to be active, maybe just take a short walk to greet your neighbor and keep the social distance, but at the same time you're getting some exercise out of it.
Oh, definitely. That's a great idea. So, visiting your neighbors, going to visit family that stays close by, that you can get a little bit of exercise in. It's a great idea.
Mm. So, talk to us, about people that have constraints like diabetes and those kinds of things. What should they be doing on Eat Day to be able to have should we say, a balanced diet and a healthier lifestyle going forward? And starting, of course, that I'm sure they've started that in Ramadan, and we spoke last about that, where we were directing them what it is they can do to be able to have a better lifestyle and a better should we say, fasting going on. But now going forward, what do you see that they can do on Eid Day to be able to? Is it also the portion control and, of course, determining what it is they can and what they can't have?
Definitely. So diabetics need to be conscious of what their blood sugars are. So testing often throughout the day will be very helpful for them, so that they don't push their sugars over and ending up with sugars of 12 or 15 and things like that. Diabetics need to be conscious of their portion sizes, but also how much they're eating and the types of food that they're eating at the same time. So they can still have a biryani, but they still need to watch out on how many starches do I have on my plate, and have I included a vegetable on the side. And then with fizzy drinks and sugary drinks, so they really need to be wary. Go for something that's like light or doesn't have any sugar added, or something that's like plain water or fruit infused water. Water would be a great idea. Okay. If they're including sweet treats, they need to have them with their meal. So if they're having chicken for breakfast, then they need to make sure that they have a small piece of burfi together with the chicken, so that their blood sugars don't shoot up as high as it would have if they had eaten the burfi on its own.
Oh, I see what you're
saying.
It's
the same with lunch. Yes, so you must make sure that they pair their meals correctly, they're wary of their blood sugars, and they get in some exercise in the day to use up some of that blood sugar.
I agree with you there. What other valuable advice would you give us for this particular day? It's such a nice day where you get together with family. But I think what happens inevitably is when you're sitting in company, you tend to eat more than you should because you have company with you.
Yes. So focusing on enjoying their meals, the smell, the colors of the plate, the texture and the feel in the mouth, this will allow them to savor their meal and to prevent them from overindulging. And then to take a moment to reflect on the blessings of Allah Ta'ala and all the blessings that we have on our table on the day. They must not forget to practice the sunnah way of eating and moderation. So a little bit of different types of food is fantastic, as opposed to a large plate of one single dish. And practicing mindfulness is more important on Eid Day than calories or calorie restrictions. So surround yourself with family, surround yourself with friends, but try not to overindulge.
Yeah, I think that's what happens inevitably. Is, as I said, we were in company and then we start looking at eating all the wrong things. And then I think we're eating a bit of everything because like now we're so excited that we can. So we tend to lose hindsight of what it is that we need to do really. And I think this is valuable advice because it makes us understand that it's a transition. It's not something that you're just going to go into and start eating like you did before Ramadan. And then your body is all upside down, and that's when you really start feeling ill because you're creating this environment that your body's not used to, because for a month it was in another zone where it was in a healthier zone, and now suddenly you're hitting all these things at it.
Oh yes, definitely. Being very mindful and eating slowly. So maybe perhaps even say when you sit on the table, tell your family, let's not rush. We're here together. We have the whole day. And we want to enjoy this meal that is being prepared. So we really want to serve it slowly. Almost like, if you went to a 5-star restaurant and they serve the courses slowly as you finish. Want to think of it in that way.
That makes so much of sense, Faaizah, because like you walk into a restaurant and that's what they do. And sometimes people are in such a hurry to eat and then you wonder why are they taking so long with everything. But it makes more sense now that you're talking about this and bringing this to light, to be able to understand that we need to do portion control and do things a step at a time as far as looking after our health is concerned. There's ways to be able to eat and look after ourselves.
Yes, definitely. So the slower the better. Also chewing slowly is really important. To make sure you're not just gulping down food very, very quickly. And that will also cause, indigestion and just a feeling of discomfort because you've eaten too fast.
And coming to kids, how do we, because like on E-Day, they're so excited. There's sweets, there's desserts, there's everything readily available there. How would we curb that without having to be a little bit too strict also?
It depends from family to family and how they handle sweet treats and things. But what Bob can suggest is asking families to have treats that are closed and sealed, and the kids can take them home and enjoy them over the week or over the weekend, as opposed to a lot of sweets on the day. And then we have kids who feel ill at night and they don't sleep because now they're hyperactive. And then just tell the kids, I'm going to be watching you in the day. I don't want you to feel ill. So we're going to do three sweets maybe when you visit your nanny and your daddy, and that's going to be it.
Right.
Too much of sweets also, dental health and mental health is not great.
Yeah, and I think they've been following the routine with the parents during the month of Ramadan, and then suddenly into that, as I was saying earlier, it's also not very healthy and good for them. And as we know, kids have a tendency, and adults as well, to go first for the sweeter things. So I think it's having to be able to, like you say, use your mind control and ask yourself the question, what is good for you, and pen into it slowly, as you were saying. What message would you like to leave our viewers with this afternoon, as far as this is concerned?
I would like to say, just have a lovely Eid, reflect on the blessing of Allah Ta'ala, continue to practice your Sunnah way of eating. Remember that moderation is a key, it's really important. And don't worry about calories on Eid day, just practice mindfulness and you will be okay.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We want to thank you for joining us. You've definitely shared some valuable advice with us as far as that is concerned. And I think a lot of the times we just, like you say, rush into everything and we find ourselves in a really horrible space after that. So we really appreciate you taking the time off. And I know you had a very busy day. But from myself and the team, we want to wish you a blessed Eid with yourself and the family. And we want you to stay safe, of course. And of course, thank you so much for joining us on these few segments that we've had with you to be able to entice people into better spaces as far as their well-being is concerned. And we talk about well-being, it's, we know a healthy body and a healthy mind go together. So what we consume, what we're going to put in is what we're going to get out. So I really appreciate that fact that you've taken the time out to come and actually divulge that information to us so that we have a blessed Eid, but also a very healthy one. So thank you so much. And you have a blessed Eid with yourself and the family. And of course, let's not forget to stay safe because, the pandemic is still around.
Thank you so much for having me, for giving me the platform to express what I love the most. If your listeners want to find out a little bit more, we put an Instagram page called Elementary RDSA. Okay. And everything we've talked about is on there. So if they want to read and if they want to forward and share, they're more than welcome to do so. But thank you so much, and please have a lovely Eid. And remember,
Jazakallah, thank you so much. It was only a pleasure chatting to you. You take care.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Faaizah Laher giving us some insight on how to, of course, pen out our eating habits on Eid day after having a really healthy Ramadan, eating all those sunnah foods and, of course, trying to carry on further with it. We're going to go for a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be back with a hot spot, but not what you're thinking of. So stay with us. It's a very interesting topic that we're going to be touching on.
This Ramadan, can we still feel the heartbreak, the grief, the pain? Islamic Relief needs you to keep feeling because the believers are